Hey guys, Kate here from Why Fly Nomads. As some of you know, I'm preparing my departure back from Toronto to Bali, and I'm going through a list of these errands of things that I need to have sorted before I fly, and these are things that often get overlooked or forgotten. I put a poll out on Instagram the other day to see if you guys want to know how I prepare, what items I have in order before I go. Everyone seemed interested, so I've created this video to walk you through what you should make sure you have organized before you depart on your next trip. So the first thing I like to do is I like to get some of the local currency. I usually make sure I have enough for a few days. Once you land in a country, you don't know how long it will take you to get to an ATM, so I find it's always good bring the local currency with you. I prefer to convert my currency in Canada instead of waiting till I get to the country because you oftentimes get ripped off. So yeah, bring enough local currency for a few days until you have time to hit a local ATM machine up. So yeah, that's the first thing to make sure you have sorted. Next thing, you may have your passport, which is great. However, double check that it's not expired. One of my friends just went on a trip and his passport was expired. Shout out to Dr. Brett. He's such an amazing person. Poor soul, because his passport was actually expired when he arrived at the airport. So always make sure that even if you have your passport, make sure it's not expired, or that's just going to cause some complications. Also, make sure that you contact your bank and make sure your bank knows that you're traveling. The last thing you want is to be in a layover and they block your account, or being in this new country and you need money to pay for food, whatever it may be, and then your account gets blocked. So make sure you call your bank, make sure your bank knows that you're traveling so they don't block your cards. I also suggest that you have a different credit card or bank card with a different banking institution, just in case your cards get compromised. If your cards get compromised, it could get blocked or you don't have access to it anymore, and then that way you always have a backup. And the next thing is to make sure you have your immunizations. Sometimes you may need to see the travel doctor 2 to 3 months before you leave, as some meds, you would have to get your initial and then a follow-up. So just make sure that you check what sort of immunizations you may need. You can go to the travel doctor, they'll let you know, but just make sure that you plan a visit with your doctor 3 months before your trip to make sure you have more than enough time to get the immunizations you need.
So for example, when I went to Kenya, I had to show proof that I had the yellow fever vaccination. So make sure you check before you go to a country if they have any regulations where you have to show proof of an immunization, and just make sure that you're aware of that.
And next, if you're planning on driving in an international country, make sure that you get your international driver's permit. This is so easy to get. I just went to CAA, they took my photo, they just take what's on my license, convert it into an international document. It was like $20. It's better to have this than not have it. It will just make life so much easier, especially if you're deciding to drive in another country. Next, and the final thing, is making sure you have travel insurance. So I've used CAA Travel before. I find it's the best pricing. I also use World Nomads. What I love about World Nomads is that I can book my insurance the day I leave and it processes it instantly. It gives you a quote, you can pay right away. It's all done online. I love how simple it is. I'll leave a link below. I often use World Nomads. And again, it's just the ease of it. So typically the day that I'm about to leave, I'll go on, get my insurance, make sure I'm good. And it's so important to get travel insurance. I don't even think I need to give you a lecture. I can't even tell you how many things and stories I've heard while traveling. I always travel with travel insurance, and I feel confident because I know that I'm protected if anything happens, that I'm taken care of. So there you have it. These are some of the random things that you may not think to do before you go, but they're good to have in place to make sure that your journey is smooth. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Safe travels.